means that their love is conditional. A lot of times people give you love based on your performance, what you give them. Um, I'm just grateful to God that He gave me the wisdom and understanding to um, go to the Word and um, give my baby the definition of love, true love. Um, so that way, when somebody tells her that they love her, she'll know what it is, which is patience and kindness, holds no record of wrongdoing, it's not easily angered, um, and so on. But all glory be to God because a lot of times people have us to perform, but it's based on how they grew up and what they knew love was, right? And until we start breaking um, the the cycle, until we start breaking the curses, until we start breaking the identity crisis, we will never know what true love is until we come to know Christ and trust Him and know that His love is unconditional because He loves us when we don't love Him. He loves us while we at our worst and cursing Him and denying Him, right? And I know the word says that um, he he comes and he's um, at the end times it's gonna be, you know, mothers against daughters, mother-in-laws against daughter-in-laws, sons and against fathers and stuff like that. But I truly feel like the Lord is calling us, especially um, people that feel like the black sheep of the family, people that feel like the black sheep of the family, like no matter how much you give and give and give to the family, no matter how much forgiving that you do towards family members that's hurt you and stuff like that, that you always get in the end of the stick, the very end of the stick. But I think that God is calling you to um, be that mortar, be that one that saves your family, be that one to help your family get back to Christ. And we have to continue to pray. We have to pray without ceasing. And it may seem like it's not working, but God be working behind the scenes on people's heart. And it may seem like he's not working or doing it how you need him to do it or how you want him to do it, how you're expecting him to do it. But he's working nevertheless. And we can't take offense. We can't take offense to people because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle against spirits. And that's when the enemy, he revs up, knowing that you move in it in a different way when you come to know Christ and when you accept Christ as being your Lord and Savior, your Father, your Master. And you start moving a different way. You start moving like Christ moves. The enemy, that's the only thing he knows. He can't read our minds, right? He can't read our thoughts. He just knows our patterns. So once he goes to throwing that monkey wrench into the play, right? Um, if we revert back to the thing that we once knew, if we revert back to being offended, redrawing, holding offense, holding bitterness, retaliating, wanting vengeance on people. If we go back to that, then he's won. When we know that we wrestling not with the flesh and blood, that's just the spirit that's trying to get you to not get to where God is trying to get you. And furthermore, trying to get you not to break those cycles, to walking with Christ and your family seeing you walking with Christ and your family seeing, okay, something's really changed in him or her, something's really changed, and it's nothing but the power. It's nothing but the blood, right? Because we can't do it on our own. That's why I said all the Lord requires for us is to trust in Him, and He gonna love us, right? He loves us regardless when we in our sin or whatever, but He loves us, and we don't have to perform for Him to love us. We don't have to give something for Him to love us. He just loves us, and He wants the best for us, and it's just us in our flesh that can't see the forest for the trees, because we study in this world. We study in this world, and y'all, my nail just popped off. But we study in this world, and we looking for performance. We looking to perform. Don't What do you have to do when you on TikTok? If you're a content creator, if you're on TikTok, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook or whatever, what do you have to do? You have to perform in order to get likes, views. You have to perform. God is not like that. But if we constantly in the world, we constantly on Facebook, we constantly on YouTube, we constantly on TikTok and performing, we not gonna believe what God say, because the mass is controlling us having to perform in order to get likes, in order to get views, in order to get love, you know. So we don't have to perform, and God's love is good. He can save us, He can heal us, He can provide for us. A lot of times when you're dealing with a worldly person, a worldly spirit, you're gonna have to perform. You're gonna have to give a little to get a little, right? Um, and all God is requiring for you to give is trust. Trust in Him that He is Almighty and He is everything, right? I don't know if He want to be on there, but all glory be to God. And He just working on me, and it's a process for the Lord to work on your heart, and for you to begin to trust in Him, especially if all you've known is your way, and you don't want to be let down no more, you don't want to be hurt no more. So you taking control, and that's all it is. Us wanting to stay in control, staying depending on ourselves instead of depending on God. Like we can try to save ourselves, and it could go good for a while until something happens that's out of our control, like literally out of our control, and then we don't have nobody else to trust but God. And then He shows us um you know who He is, and why He is, and why He's been there, and why the things have happened the way they've happened, and all of that. But it takes for us to give in to Him, and give in to His plans, and His destiny for us. But all glory be to God. Y'all continue to stay prayerful. um um that's another thing. Like, so we trust in God. We don't have to put our trust in man. We need to put our trust in God, right? He calls us to love people, love our neighbor as we love ourselves, love our enemies, even our enemies, right? But that don't mean we have to indulge. He calls us not to judge, right? But that don't mean we don't see um see people's sin, and don't hold them accountable for that sin, and not to indulge with people when they're sinning, how they sin, right? I love you. This is what the word says. And since you're not you're not in that place right now, I'm gonna continue to pray for you, but I cannot indulge with you, you know um, in that sinful nature, right? Because I need to be close to God. I need to make sure my spirit man is, close with God. And if I continue to dwell with you or engage with you, and you're not in the right spirit, then that spirit will, jump off on me, because especially if we don't understand that it's the Lord's power, and we go to getting into natural mindset, that natural flesh, we go to getting into that, we'll, that spirit eventually, take us over. But we not called to deal with people that's living sinfully. We're not called to judge them. We're not called to hate them. We're not called to none of that. Want vengeance on them. That's the one thing. We can say that we forgive people and stuff like that. But even us wanting the Lord to give them, they punishment. That's not that's not good. You know, we should want God to forgive them as He has forgiven us, and we should want God to save them from themselves. But again, trust God is the only one that we need to be trusting, and He doesn't require us to perform. He doesn't require us to perform for His love, to save us, to provide for us, to heal us, to nurture us, to dwell with us. He doesn't require us to perform. He just requires us to trust Him and knowing that His name is what it is. But that's it. That's all, y'all. Continue to pray for me. I continue to pray for y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. Start this week out right. In Jesus' mighty name. Um, let God be your father. Let Him be your Abba. Okay? But that's it. That's all. I ain't gonna keep y'all hold y'all too long. Love y'all. Thank you.